Well, the Christmas holidays are upon us, and one of the biggest questions or challenges um, that I get asked of me is, how do you have those difficult conversations around the dinner table with family and friends that may disagree with what you believe. Maybe they're antagonistic. Maybe they're politically on the other side of the aisle, but yet you're sitting around the table with them. And so, just put together a quick guide here with a few ideas to help you as a Christian navigate and guide the conversations during the holidays. First, let's focus on Scripture. Proverbs 15:1 says, "A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." A gentle answer turns away wrath. We're people of peace as Christians, and so we have to understand that we're not trying to win arguments. We are just called to be a witness. And so here's a couple of things you can focus on to help you as we lead into some of these gatherings and who's going to be at the table. What do we need to be focusing on? Well, let's focus on what is good, true, and beautiful. Those all are grounded in God. He is good, He is true, and He is beautiful. And so if we focus on those three aspects of God, then we are grounding our thinking and our mindset going into some of these gatherings. And it won't be just the conversations. I think you'll find if you're looking for what is good, true, and beautiful, all the way through Christmas, I think you'll find a deep and richer experience of Christmas for yourself as well. The next thing to do is to ask yourself 4 questions. These questions have been very valuable to me over the years, and here they are. What is good that we can celebrate, promote, or preserve? What is missing we can contribute? What is evil we can stop? And what is broken that we can restore? These are all they're founded in the biblical narrative of creation, fall, redemption, and restoration. And so ask yourself these questions. Anytime you're going to be having a conversation or facing an issue, whether in your family or out there in the culture, these 4 questions are very powerful. Real stories for real people. Our lives are built around and grounded in stories. Narratives make up our lives. They tell us where we've come from, who we are. The Bible is a narrative. The gospel is a story that we inhabit. And so here's a few ideas of just getting a conversation started, or maybe guiding a conversation in a positive, good direction. Share your best memory from the year. Maybe you have a memory of going and having ice cream with your daughter or something like that. Share that memory, something that's valuable. That's telling other people something about yourself. Share your biggest challenge, loss, failure, or heartbreak. Again, this is opening up the door of transparency and allowing people to see that, Christians, we suffer, we have pain in our lives too. Not everything's perfect. We make mistakes, and we should share those things with people, obviously appropriately, but share them with people, because that opens up the door for trust and respect as well. Second, share what you've learned or how you've changed this year. We live in challenging times, and we're always changing, or we should be, and we should always be learning. But maybe you had an experience that you learned from or changed you this year. Share that. Next, here's another idea. Share one thing you would like to change about yourself or the world around you. If you had a magic wand, what is that one thing that you would just love to change about yourself or the world around you? And the other thing is with these questions is is they're conversation starters. You can ask someone else after you've shared, say, hey, Uncle Bob, share your favorite memory from this year, and just see where the conversation goes. Okay. This is my help people think questions. These are some questions that help people think. Conversations are going to happen around the table with family and friends, that there's going to be disagreements. If politics or religion or anything like that enter into the conversation, don't shy away. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't even have to give your position if you don't want to. But ask really good questions. That's the key, is to ask really good questions. And why do we ask good questions? Because a good question to someone else gives them the dignity and honor of thinking for themselves and expressing their point of view. You don't have to agree with it, but you have to respect them as an image bearer of God, and that they have an opinion and a position. And so questions give them the space and the opportunity to share that. Even if you don't disagree with it, even if you do disagree with it, you can give them a space to express what they believe. The first question is, what do you mean by that? If someone uses a term or has a position, you can, on a political issue or what have you, you can ask them what they mean by that. Very sort of defined terms. It's good at helping them articulate for themselves and you their position. How did you come to that conclusion? Another great question. It's basically, why do you believe what you're telling me is your position? Why do you believe that? So how did you come to that conclusion? Great question. And finally, always respond with kindness and a gentle answer. Back to Proverbs. Say something like, thank you for sharing your point of view. This conversation has been valuable. Thank you. I appreciate it. Maybe we can circle back after the holidays and talk more. Great. Again, you're not trying to win any arguments. You're just being a witness. That's what we're called to do. Be a witness. So as we focus on what is good, true, and beautiful, we're breaking stereotypes and narratives. We all have stereotypes and narratives of what we think about other people. These are stories we tell ourselves about other people, their family members, friends, even people halfway across the globe we don't know. We build these narratives, these stereotypes in our mind, and most of the time they're negative, and they may not even be true. But what's interesting is people have a narrative about you as a Christian as well, and Christians in general. They have a picture of what a Christian is that may or may not be true. And what you're doing is giving them an authentic view of a real person who happens to be a Christian. You're not trying to paint a perfect picture of yourself. What you're doing is just allowing people to see that you're a real person and that you care and that you love other people by giving them the dignity of asking some questions and having some real good, deep conversations because you care, focusing on what is good, true, and beautiful. And again, you're not trying to win any arguments. You're just trying to be a witness. And so I'll leave you with Matthew 5:14 through 16, one of my favorite passages of Scripture. And it speaks to this, being a witness in all these conversations, even when they may verge on argument and disagreement. It's okay. You're just to be a witness, ask really good questions. Here's how we're to respond and how we're to be that witness. You are a light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. Just be the light. Merry Christmas. I hope this has been helpful to you. God bless.